Hi folks, Lee Gettess here with the Market Sense for the week of August 22nd, 2017. That's the day after the eclipse, so I hope nobody's blinded. We're going to look at charts that are provided to us by Gettess and their Trade Navigator software. And we'll look at the bonds on a weekly basis here, and you can see so far this week they've done very little. They're just sort of flirting around that upper moving average, which essentially shouldn't mean anything this week. We kind of are looking for resistance up here in the 156.28 area, which would put them close to this old high, swing high here at 57.08. That's another possibility. And we thought support would probably be in the 154.24 area down here at the middle moving average. Again, they haven't come close to anything yet. They may or may not. One thing in looking at this chart, they've pretty much been up for a good 6 weeks now. But that 6 weeks of up hasn't been able to make back what it only took them 2 weeks to go down. So that's a little disconcerting. The overall picture looks pretty good, but it's a little disappointing that they haven't rallied harder than that. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But for this week, until they get to 54.24 or 56.28, they're really not tipping their hand much of anything as far as direction. And I guess that's correct. They're not going anywhere. Stocks have a little different circumstance here. They weakened in both the last couple weeks and looked like they could go lower here, and they've turned back up. And well, let's explain it this way: if they were going to trend down hard, this 24.38 area, the lower moving average here, 24.38 is what should hold them if they were going to trend down hard. Not doing that makes them target the 24.55 area, which they've also reached. Now, what's interesting about this to me is last week sort of had a similar situation. They could have held here, they could have held here. Instead, they went all the way up here, but then turned around and made new lows. I'm not saying they're doing the same thing this week. I am saying, though, that just because they haven't held these doesn't mean they're not going lower, because who knows. But it looks like at least both last week and this week they're trying to rally. There seems to be a lot of big players buying on dips. So you couldn't rule out seeing them up here to 24.80 at the upper moving average. But if they do turn back down, there's more support here around 24.05. And I really thought with the mid-Keltner down here in the projected low, I really thought they'd probably get there early this week, which they haven't done. So maybe they're just stronger than I think. Maybe they're going back up. That'll be interesting to watch because this is a week without a whole lot of economic news to drive them. So that's what we've got for you today. I hope you can find something profitable to get you